All right, friends. This is Victor Alpha 5 Delta Charlie Sierra, and I just wanted to come and share some news with you on this new Baofeng uh, RD-5R radio. Now, this is a DMR radio, which stands for Digital Mobile Radio, as you know. And I'm new to this, but I'm really impressed with this particular radio. Now, before I bought this radio, I did do some reading up on it, and I looked at some of the reviews, and I thought I would share some of the things that I've discovered about this particular radio. Now, one of the first things you'll notice about this radio right away is it looks like your typical Baofeng radio. If you've got a 5R, if you've got a UVB 2 plus, um, if you've got a 5R TWP, they all pretty much look the same. It's got the same features where you have the button for the light. Um, you have the button for FM radio. These are all programmable buttons. You push to talk. Then you've got your VFO button there to change the from channel mode to VFO mode, and then your A. So very very standard. Now the buttons on the bottom, they are a little bit different than on the Baofengs. The letters in blue are different. These are actually because you can text message. I'll get into that, but because you can text message with these devices, these basically have your standard alphanumeric that follow the same as your keyboard, like as if you're going to text message with a phone. So that's the device. It actually comes with the rubber duck antenna. The antenna is made by Radiodidity, and by the way, the RD actually stands for Radiodidity, and they've gone in conjunction with Baofeng to put out this radio. If you want to get support for this radio, if you have warranty issues, you're going to have to deal with Radiodidity and not Baofeng. They are the ones that handle Radiodidity is the one that handles the warranty for this device. So basically, this device is basically made for can be used is made for they call it a cooperation model, and you have full FM, UHF, VHF capabilities with this radio, as well as the digital mode. So one of the things about the digital mode is that this radio is compatible with any Motorola systems, any Motorola radios, and any digital system that uses both Tier 1, DMR Tier 1 and Tier 2 systems. Now, when Baofeng originally came out with their first radio, this is where they messed it up. Was this in this Tier 1 and Tier 2? Their radios were not Tier 2 compatible, and so that's where a lot of the problems came from their first model of this particular digital radio. But this one here, some of the issues have been resolved. So the features of this radio, it sends and it receives text messages up to 64 characters. It supports manual programming as well as software that you can get for this radio. If you want to get the software for this radio, you will have to go to the Radio site, Radio Diddy. I think that's what it is, Radio Diddy site, to actually download the software. As I said, it does have the FM radio built in, the LED flashlight. It supports analog repeaters and digital repeaters. So if you buy this radio and there's no digital modes around, um, you can actually still use this radio on standard repeaters. You have a cable that comes with it. It's actually a driver-free cable, so you don't have to go hunting around like I did with that QTY radio I bought. I had to dig around and try to find a driver that's going to work with the cable. This is really strictly plug and play. You plug it in, and it pretty much works. It comes with an SMA male antenna base, and it's compatible with all SMA female antennas. Dual standby and dual display, like most of the radios, Baofeng radios, it does have that feature. And the radio has the ability to operate on GMRS, FRS, and listen in on public safety. So that's some of the features. Now, what are the specifications? Okay, this is a 1 to 5 watt radio. I was mistaken. I thought that it was an 8 watt, but this is a 1 to 5 watt radio, right? That runs in analog and digital, DMR tier 1 and tier 2. The battery capacity in this radio is 1800 milliamp hours. It's a 7.4 volt battery, and you get about 13.3 watt hours apparently out of this battery. I've noticed that in using this radio, particularly in digital mode, the battery seems to not last quite as long. Um, Contact IDs, you can put 256 contact IDs in there. RX groups, 64. Each group has 16 contacts. And so actually, you can have up to 250 zones, and each zone can have 16 channels. Now, if you're interested, you can put a thumbs up or just respond and say, yeah, you'd like to know more. And I'll go into actually a little bit more about the programming of the radio and the zones, because I think that's one of the coolest things about that, and I'll show you what I've done with mine. But anyways, at the end of the day, you can put 1,024 channels into this little radio, as opposed to my Baofeng that I can fit. I think it's 127 channels in mine. So it's a great little radio. If you want to know more about this, or if you want to see a video, well, I might just do it anyways, just for the fun of it. I'll put a little bit of a video up on the actual software and explain a little bit about the digital modes.